The city of New York buzzed with its usual frenzy. Horns honked, suits rushed, screens blinked. In the heart of Manhattan, Whitmore Innovations towered like a glass monument to ambition. Inside its sleek offices, decisions worth millions were made in minutes. And at the top of it all was Alara Whitmore. Alara had a presence that silenced rooms. Late 40s, tall, elegant in charcoal suits and red-soled heels. She was the epitome of control. She built her company from scratch, fueled by her own childhood, abandoned at birth, shuffled between foster homes, and hardened by years of survival. No one ever saw her cry. No one dared call her soft. But one freezing December morning, something changed. As Alara stepped out of her black SUV to head into a critical investor briefing, a voice interrupted her brisk steps. Excuse me, ma'am. She turned slightly, half expecting a reporter or a fan. But instead, there stood a tiny girl, maybe 6 or 7. Her jacket was torn, her shoes soaked from the slushy pavement. Her cheeks were red from the wind. Her hands gripped a crumpled cardboard sign. It read, "I don't have mama. Can I spend a day with you?" The world tilted. Alara blinked, unsure whether to laugh or be alarmed. Where is your mother? She asked, carefully. The girl stared up at her with big brown eyes full of raw pain. She died last year. My aunt said I'm too much trouble. And yesterday she left me at the train station. I waited and waited. Then I saw your face on the big screen over there. She pointed at a digital billboard showing Alara's company. You looked like someone who could protect people. Alara's heart stuttered. She hadn't let anything touch her emotions in years. But this little voice with no filter, new performancy had reached into something deeply buried. What's your name? She asked. Lena. Alara paused. Her assistant's voice rang in her earpiece. You have 10 minutes to the boardroom, ma'am. But instead of walking forward, Alara did something unthinkable. She extended her hand. Would you like some hot chocolate, Lena? The girl nodded. Her fingers slipped into Alara's gloved hand. They sat in a quiet cafe. On Madison Avenue, Lena devoured a muffin and cradled the cocoa like it was treasure. Alara found herself watching, studying. This was a child forgotten, discarded yet so gentle, so full of wonder. I'm not asking for money, Lena said suddenly. Just one day. I promise I won't be a bother. I just want to feel what it's like to have someone care. Alara felt something crack. Come with me, she said. The staff back at Whitmore Innovations gawked as Alara walked in with a child holding her hand. She canceled the meeting, ignored the confused board members, and brought Lena up to her penthouse apartment. Alara was surprised by how natural it felt. She helped Lena bathe, found clean clothes from her assistant's daughter's closet, and made her grilled cheese with tomato soup. That evening, they sat on the couch watching an animated movie. Lena curled up beside her, head resting against her side. I used to pretend my teddy bear was my mama, Lena whispered, but he never hugged me back. Alara's throat tightened. She reached out and gently wrapped an arm around the girl. Well, I'm not a teddy bear, she said, smiling softly, but I can give good hugs. Lena nestled closer. You're better than a teddy. But the peace didn't last long. That night, as Lena slept under a plush blanket, the doorbell rang. A detective and a social worker stood outside. We've been looking for this child. She's in the system. Reported missing. Her aunt's under investigation. The child needs to be taken into protective care immediately. Alara's body went cold. No, she whispered. She's been through enough. We understand. But unless you're a registered foster or legal guardian, we can't leave her in your care. Lena woke up to the commotion, her eyes wide with fear. Please don't send me back. Alara turned to the social worker. What do I need to do to keep her? 55 to 60 minutes spoken. What began as a moment of impulse turned into a mission. Alara Whitmore, one of the most powerful women in the country, began fighting for custody of a little girl who had wandered into her life with nothing but a sign and hope. The media ran wild. Ice Queen CEO saves abandoned child. Splashed across tabloids and news feeds. Some said it was PR. Others thought it was temporary. But it wasn't. Alara transformed. Her days no longer ended in solitude, but with bedtime stories and shared giggles. Her mornings began with cereal spills instead of stock reports. Lena was like sunlight. She filled every corner of Alara's lonely life with the joy she didn't know she needed. And Alara, she became something she never imagined safe. Still, the system made it hard. Interviews, psychological evaluations, home visits. At every step, Alara was reminded that love wasn't enough. Until something no one expected changed everything. As part of the adoption process, a routine DNA test was run to screen for genetic matches. The result. A match flagged. Camille Whitmore, the half-sister Alara never met, born from their estranged father's second relationship, had died in an accident 6 years ago. unmarried, forgotten, and her child Lina had slipped through the cracks. Asterisk Alara stared at the report for hours. Asterisk she wasn't just taking care of a stranger, she was holding her niece. Asterisk and suddenly, every emotion she'd buried over decades exploded. Asterisk tears she hadn't cried since childhood ran down her face. She wasn't just saving Lina, Lina had saved her. Asterisk the adoption was finalized. Lina Whitmore now had a real bedroom with purple wallpaper and glow-in-thought stars on the ceiling. Alara began creating family policies at her company. Better childcare, maternity leave extensions, support programs. Asterisk her employees said she smiled more, laughed more, hugged more. Asterisk one morning, Lina, now 8, stood before her second-grade class. It was Hero Day. Asterisk, my hero is my mama, she said proudly. She didn't have to love me, but she did. She gave me a home, even when I had nothing to give back. She's a CEO, but to me, she's just mama, and that's better than any superhero. Asterisk that afternoon, Ella sat at her desk, holding Lina's crayon drawing of the two of them in front of the company building. Asterisk at the bottom, Lina had written, asterisk, thank you for choosing me. Asterisk, Alara whispered, you chose me first, baby girl. Asterisk 5 years later, Elara delivered the keynote at an international summit on women in leadership. But this time, she wasn't alone. Asterisk Lina stood proudly beside her, now 13, confident and bright-eyed. Asterisk when my daughter found me, Elara said during the closing remarks, I thought I was rescuing her, but in truth, she rescued me. She reminded me that humanity matters more than profit, that softness is not weakness, and that even a powerful life is empty if it has no love. The audience stood in applause. Later that night, as they walked hand in hand under the New York lights, Lina asked, do you ever wonder what would have happened if you didn't stop that day? Alara looked at her. No, because that was the best decision of my life. You asked me for one day, but you gave me forever. Asterisk sometimes, the most powerful transformations begin with a single act of compassion. A little girl's plea cracked open a guarded heart and turned a day into a destiny. In a world that moves fast, may we never forget the beauty of pausing, listening, and choosing love.